Hi everyone, I want to talk about a Korean tier list, comparing it to my own tier list. So let's get into it. I'm going to talk about the tier list today so that it will help you understand what Koreans think, because they're 6 months further than the global. So maybe you can look at it from perhaps a whale's point of view, or from someone's view who's been playing for a long time. So I'm going to talk about the list, and I'm going to go from their version, their SS, and I'll try and note some of the heroes that they've talked about. So to begin with, SS hero, they only have one. There's only one hero they put at SS, and that is Mercedes. So I did try to put in the top left the heroes who would be like the plus. So again, both me and the Koreans think the same here, that Mercedes deserves the top slot. I think people have personally got a bit too excited about Tori. Yeah, she's really good, but in people re-rolling for Tori, they've completely focused about Celiaz. And again, the next person higher than Tori by the Koreans at S is Celiaz. So Celiaz is ranked as an S. And I would say if you have her soul weapon, then she's definitely SS. So anyway, think about it anyway. So not the soul weapon, just consider Celiaz as being more appropriate than Tori if you could only summon 2. If you can summon 3, then Mercedes, Celiaz and Tori perhaps. Up to you. The next one in S for the Koreans is Tori. Okay, so Tori. Now, they like her. For example, that why do they pick Tori as an S and whatever? Well, it's not that she's bad. They just think she's good, and they just think Mercedes is just too good. But for Tori, she can heal, and she can tank. So, and summon perhaps. The summon is the tank, and she can even buff. So they do say, although it should be SS, they believe that the possibility of a nerf coming up should just keep her in tier 1 for now. So perhaps they think she is actually SS. But the point is that what they really believe, the nerf is going to be pretty huge. And another thing is, there's some disagreement and controversy as to whether you need to 6-star Tori or not, because they think the skill up is so effective anyway. So some people think it's already good enough. Keep that in mind. You might not need to 6-star her. I did, but should you? Don't know. Now their next one is interesting. So who they take as the next unit? They cast it as Shamak. Shamak, who I have as a B and a whale. S to SS. Shamak. Now, what makes him good? It's his normal skill 1. When it's at level 11, it reduces 150% damage to a single target and 50% physical damage for 5 seconds. And perhaps the cooldown also is 5 seconds. They think normal 1 is so important that it puts him as an S unit. So I have to reconsider that for my tier list too. And I think level 11 is not too hard to reach. So maybe you can think about that as well. Next, this is probably one of my biggest mistakes. Their next tier 1, or what we say S, comes as Cobbs. I put Cobbs as an A, and I'm kind of regretting it. I might have to raise Cobbs, and they think the buffs from Cobbs are so important, and very important even to beginners. And although it's not always used at the beginning of play, and it's usually used for boss battles like Shamak, they still think it's a must. They think it's a must to have it, to have Cobbs. Like, you're going to use Cobbs for nearly every boss. And so it's I don't know. It's a meta, I must say. Okay, next up. It's the final S unit, and they place Kriemhild. Kriemhild is the final S unit, and it's the normal skill 2, Freya's protection, recovering 30% of vitality for 10 seconds. They feel it's way too OP. So keep that in mind. I don't know. I don't know if I really upgraded it on my account. I'll double check later. But very, very interesting. All right, next. Their A units. So the Koreans' A units. Only well, not two. There are a few, but they divided it. First, we'll go into the archer units. Their A units are Jenny. I'm not going to go into it. And their next A unit, who was my SS, is Kirk's. They feel they're both important, but Kirk's is important after Awakening, whereas Jenny has an important normal 1 skill. And it's used one of the most among archers, so you can't underestimate normal 1. I'm still surprised that Sasha, or the healers have not been considered as tier 1 personally. But anyway, continuing on. Okay, for spears, for the spear category of A, Creon is the first choice. So Creon, who I'm completely lost about because I can't make him good, but they said something shocking. They said that, yeah, well, not shocking, but awakening him should be the first priority, and he should be the number 1. He should be the first one to be awakened. Like, there's no one in our guild there's no one in our Discord server who would ever say that. But I wonder, but they said, they did say that, if you don't awaken him, he's a B. And if I would say a C, but if you don't awaken him, he's a B. And I did put him here, but if you awaken him, he's an A. I would even go A to SS personally, but awakening him is very important. And they do say he's all his skills are great. Oh, actually, I'm so sorry. They say sorry, I'm completely wrong. They said actually if he's not awakened, he's an A. And if he is awakened, he's an S. That's how far they go. And they really think the pike pushes increase of physical power. It can reach 50% for 10 seconds. And that means he's important for taking charge of spearmen. Now, you know, when we first play the game, we normally, if we see Creon, yeah, we probably think that spear ability is amazing and we probably use it, and then we find nothing much happens. But it seems we might have not increased it enough. So I think it's one to think about. But shocking for me is that the second A unit after Creon is Dread. For me, I thought Dread was higher than Creon. So, and they said Dread is the hero who's influenced most by equipment and skills. Yeah, and I did say that in my ranking as well. But if you don't get that right, he'll die. And so new players shouldn't go for Dread. So I guess a lot of us are still new, and so I'm thinking, yeah, okay, I might switch Dread to Creon based on what the Koreans said. So I will awaken Creon today, and then I will then I will try and get back to you for the tier list too. I still think Creon is a danger. But makes sense. But the last one under the last unit under tier under A is Liane Lien. And it said although the problem with Lien is the high weakness, easy to be killed, but the high damage, the damage is huge. So damage and survivability, there's such a huge gap. Normal skill 2 is actually, they think it's very good for increasing the effectiveness of spearmen. So I don't know, I need to look into it. I mean, I put her as a B, but to consider her as an A minus, and it's going to be a hard one. It's one to think about for me, because I can never get her close enough. She always dies. Might be an equipment thing. Okay, next in the A category for cavalry units, and remember, I'm so against cavalries. Anyway, either way, they did something unusual. They put as the best cavalry unit. No, it's not Bella. And no, it's not who else? It's not Harold. And no, it's not Sophia. Where's Sophia? Was she there? Don't tell me I didn't even put her in. God. Are you serious? No one ever told me that. Oh, there she is. Yeah, okay, so yeah, she is there. Anyway, they don't even include Sophia, so that's just off. But who are the two? Well, Cassius. This guy Cassius, they think he's brilliant for beginners because of his buffs, and he can be utilized in different situations, which I completely disagree with, but hey, he's an A from them. And the A minus on this is Vikal. As long as you have Celias to keep reviving him, he's brilliant apparently. I know Vikal has a great future. I know Vikal is looking really good, but I mean, once you awaken him and give him the best weapons, he's amazing. But for a beginner, I don't know. This is difficult because I haven't. I think it's dangerous. Anyway, let's keep it going. Next, a hero. Panthera. So for the summoners, Panthera is like summoners, healers, magician types. Panthera is their plus, because she can summon 5 earth spirits, and they have spearmen attribute. So because they have spearmen attribute, I don't know if they're hinting that Creon can buff them. I need someone to look into that. And next up is Kurumi, which I have there, but I did put Panthera. I think she's really a lot more better than that. Maybe Tori has now overtaken her, but faction does play a part, because if you're going to have Aisha, yeah, then you're going to have like a 20% increase in magic attack, which is going to give 20% increase to the golem. So you have to look into that. And more golems than that big guy. And the golems can, if you're clever enough with the golems, you can move them to different places. So I'm not, it's really a hard one, Panthera versus Tori. I mean, that's a new video in itself. But yeah, Kurumi. And then the next one, so, you know, we're coming to the end. There's only 2 left now for A's. And the next one is Lavia. This one, Lavia. And Aisha. The other healers, Shasha. And even, whatever her name is, the one from the beginning. I forgot her name, actually, already. I'm not even going to bother remembering her name. Just call her Red Hair for now. I don't really forget the name. She'll probably come back. I mean, she's amazing though. Although I forgot her name. But to put, why only Lavia and why only Aisha? Like, why not Devs? Why not Arya? Very interesting. Is Lavia so good awakened? Is it? Anyway, let me find out. Let me tell you. So, again, they like it that it's to all members. I mean, that's why I liked her as well, to be honest. And they like that. Actually, they did say that she can recover members' HP by 500% of the magic power, and increases magic power by 100% for 10 seconds when HP is below 90%, which is very important for raids. And other events. I'm going to have to, and other activities, etc. I mean, I'm going to have to look into that. Is Lavia really on that level? Interesting. And Aisha is very important as well. They do say as well as Celia's and Lavia. She has great power and in duels and very difficult stages, and she can reduce damage over time and increase evasion rate and tactical techniques. It seems they really like Aisha a lot more than Arya and Devs. So you might want to keep that in mind. Aisha might be more important than even I believe, but still tier A. Next, tier B. Just to say, they do kind of have, it goes up to tier C and D, but anyway, units that are very specific, like maybe C's. So anyway, so B's weird on this. Well, I guess not, but their B is literally like Aaron, because Kremhild is so much better, and they think Cassius is better as well. Okay, and the next one they like is Shan, this guy. So Shan the Werebeast, but they say he does lack performance. Like they're saying in 1v1 arena, his performance is not very good. So he's only better. He's much better on 2v2 and 3v3. So don't use him on 1v1. And if they said if he's awakened, if you awakened enough, I guess that's wrong because he can't be awakened yet. So if you level him up a lot, he won't die easily. And so that's something to keep in mind. And his first normal skill deals a lot of damage, 500%, and reduces their recovery. So they think that's quite important. Oh, and there's a final one actually. I didn't see that. So the final B unit is well, it's not the final B. There's some more actually, but not seen as good. But we have Sophia. Okay. But they said, yeah, you need the highest stars and the best equipment. That's the only way to make her effective. Now, all the other heroes are just very specific, they think. Like, some are specific for arena, some for guild. Oh, Lena. And boss battles. So it's a bit unfair really to put them as C's. So I'm not really gonna say much about them. But they did say like the heroes that are unpopular, unused, no good. So these are Drusilla, who I put as a B, but felt she was worth an S, if you're a whale. Quora, yep, absolute trash. Ellen, I think this one here, I'm not so sure she's that bad. Anna, yep, thank God someone agrees. And the worst situation, unpopular hero, Sasha. Unpopular. I don't know about you, but I'm sure if you look at every arena game in 2v2, 3v3, everyone's going to have her practically. So, I mean, she's so important that I use her as like an ultimate. Like, I'm very confused about, because in general this ranking has been very interesting from the Koreans, but to put everything in such strange orders, I mean, anyway, there might be something even I don't know, so I'm glad to learn. Now, they did say something very unusual though. Awakened heroes that are unusually good are Alus and Yarogash. Now, that's going to be something worth looking into. If you can get the growth correctly, they think that Tiffany and Bella as well, Tiffany and Bella could be done right, whatever that means. And always to have the good heroes that you should always kind of have, Arya and Grace. So you should always have them. Okay, so I think that's enough. I might talk about soldiers and other units in the future, so keep your mind open. We have more Werebeast soldiers coming soon, so then I think it's time to talk about soldiers. All the best, Club Wisdom 8.